Could you pull over, please, whenever it's safe to do so? Okay, and switch the engine off. Look, you're getting yourself into quite the state here. Look, don't worry. Don't worry about what you did at that junction, okay? Just calm down, take a few deep breaths, and look, I'm not allowed to discuss your result until we're back at the test center. Hey, it's okay. It's all right. Look, you've been doing incredibly. You know, we're like 3/4 of the way done with the test. You've done incredibly. I'll admit that junction. What you did was bad enough to fail. I'll admit that. But you've done incredibly, and your attitude is fantastic. You're confident. You're just nervous about the test. And I understand. Look, when I took my test, it took me... Maybe I shouldn't tell you this. You might lose some faith in me as an examiner, but it did take me 5 attempts. Yeah, 5. And I'm not very old. It's just attempt after attempt. I was going through horrible, horrible anxiety. The thought of being tested by anything. I was physically shaking. And I know a lot of people say that you get in the car, and I've seen it with you. You get in the car nervous, and then the moment that you start, you're okay. Even if there's that voice in the back of your head, you're still all right. For me, I was physically shaking while driving. I was that bad. Yeah. So I made a lot of very stupid mistakes. Actually nearly crashed on my 3rd test. I was getting so in my head thinking, look, I've already done this many tests. I feel like I should have passed by now. I know I can drive. When I drive and it's not on a test, I'm fine. But I was getting so in my head that I actually nearly crashed. And, you know, I know that lamppost, it was really coming at me at some speed. And it was all its fault, really. But no, I nearly did. I was asked to pull over. And I was so distracted that I turned the wheel way too hard, and well, the examiner had to reach over and push it back the other way before the car got damaged. So, and that would have been a hell of a bill. So, I'm glad he intervened. But it happens, okay? You really are shaking a lot. Yeah, ask away, whatever you like. Yeah, okay, I can hold your hand a little bit. Obviously not while you're actually driving, you need your hands, but yeah, for now, if that helps calm me down. Look, I'm like 3 years older than you are. It probably feels really weird, doesn't it, to have somebody so close in age being, well, responsible for a decision that will change things. I mean, you decided you were going to wait until university before you wanted to take a test, and that's fine. You know, not everybody does at the moment that they can. Do you need to drive? You know, right here, right now, if I'm not saying I will, but if I do fail you, would that put like a job offer in jeopardy, or, yeah. What field are you going into? Oh, that's interesting. Competitive. And you have something lined up. If you pass, well, That's the thing, isn't it? It's an if. It's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. I understand why you're so nervous. I mean, the advice is do your test when you don't have to pass it, but I know not everybody can do that. It's not the most realistic expectation. And I tell you what, it's fucking difficult, isn't it? It's not an easy test, and with that extra pressure. I'm just swearing because I want to show you that. Look, I'm not a stern guy sat here with a clipboard, aggressively saying, oh, you took that turn ever so slightly too sharp. Well, I'm not going to let you pass because of that. That's not me. And if I gave you that impression, I'm sorry. I'm a bit tired. I might have a bit of a resting bitch phase. But that's not me. What happened at that junction? I could fail you for it. I could. But at the same time, you're nervous. You slipped up a little bit. You started pulling out, and then, I mean, they had to brake a bit. See, that's the thing. I'd have to fail you, or I could fail you, because they had to brake for you. You're pulling onto a road where you have to give way to another car. And you pulled out in front of them, and they did have to tap on their brakes, but it wasn't as if they slammed on. See, that's the thing. They didn't slam on. Strictly speaking, I should fail you. And I shouldn't tell you this. I'm not going to. I could. And other examiners probably would. I am going to pretend that that car was about 3 meters too far ahead of where they should be, driving at a speed limit that isn't legal. Wrong speed limit. They did like 5 things wrong. Okay, it's not your fault. Let's say that. What do you mean? Why am I being nice? We can be nice people, even if some of us look like we've been slapped across the face with a raw fish. I mean, granted, there is a woman, another examiner, who she's just been fired because apparently she was being so strict with people and putting people off their tests. And then at the end of the test, and don't repeat this to anybody, but at the end of the test, she'd pull them over to the side of the road and she'd say about, oh, it's, you've done this and this and this and this and da-da-da-da. And then she'd very subtly ask for a bribe. So she's been fired. There are always going to be people who take advantage. There are. But most of us are okay. And I'd like to think that I'm alright. How do you feel? Okay-ish. Well, look, we've been sat here for 10 minutes. I think I've seen enough of your driving ability. So the test centre is not far away. How about we just drive straight there? And I mean, I have to say, if you're going to drive really dangerously, then I'm going to have to fail you. Like, it's still test time, officially ends when we pull in. If you pull out in front of a car and they really do have to slam on the way back, I will have to fail you. But I'm not going to consider that junction as anything bad. Okay? Well, you shouldn't tell me that. As nice as I've been and as lenient as I'm being, you don't have to admit that you want to kiss me for it. It sort of goes against... Well, I guess it's not that you're offering something in exchange of passing, I suppose, but, This kind of go against the rules. Thank you. You are really sweet. And to be honest, very attractive. If it eases your nerves, I'll give you a little kiss. And then maybe afterwards, I can have your number. No, no more now. Let's leave it at that. Now, get the engine back on and pull away when you're ready. Hey, thanks for listening to the audio. I just want to take a moment to thank my channel members, and if you want to become a channel member yourself, the top tier offers extended audios, exclusive audios, your name in videos, and early access to audios as well. It's a great way to support me. Thank you.